AI is projected to displace 300 million jobs. Outsourcing has hollowed out entire industries. The next economic shock has not even hit yet. When Oxford researchers scored over 700 occupations for long-term survival, only 15 trades proved nearly impossible to outsource, automate, or destroy. They all share 6 characteristics that most people have never thought to look for. Carl Benedict Frey, an Oxford economist, helped set the standard for measuring which jobs can truly survive the coming wave of disruption. His team analyzed over 700 occupations, scoring each one against 6 hard criteria. These are not vague qualities, they are concrete, measurable filters that separate the irreplaceable from the replaceable. The first is physical presence and manual dexterity, jobs that demand hands-on skill in real-world settings where no robot or remote worker can substitute for a person on site. Next comes complex perception and spatial reasoning, the ability to interpret subtle cues and adapt to unpredictable environments. Think of a plumber tracing a hidden leak behind a wall, or an electrician reading the hum of a live circuit. Social intelligence and emotional labor form the third pillar. Some work depends on trust, empathy, and reading people in real time. These are traits that no algorithm can convincingly mimic. The fourth is creative judgment and problem solving, covering trades where every job is a puzzle with no script, relying on improvisation and experience. Fifth, ethical and moral decision-making, roles where the consequences of a mistake are measured not just in dollars, but in lives, safety, or public trust. Finally, strategic and abstract reasoning under uncertainty, the capacity to plan, adapt, and steer through crisis when rules break down and the future is unclear. Frey's rubric applies a 5 to 20-year window. Any trade that meets all 6 criteria is projected to remain essential, even as technology and global shocks reshape the rest of the economy. This is the yardstick by which the 15 most resilient trades are judged. Before sunrise, a journeyman electrician laces up steel-toed boots and heads out to a job site. The workday begins not with theory, but with hands, stripping copper wire, threading conduit, feeling the subtle give of insulation under the thumb. Every circuit is a puzzle, every panel a test of judgment. Apprenticeship in this trade is a 4 to 5 year commitment, blending paid on the job hours with classroom study. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers sets a high bar. Safety codes must be memorized, diagnostic meters mastered, and every mistake carries a weight measured in volts, not just dollars. On a hospital wing, a power outage triggers alarms. The electrician moves fast, tracing the fault by ear, the faint hum of a transformer, the warmth of a live wire, the sharp scent of burning insulation. No remote worker, no robot can reach into a breaker panel and trust their fingertips to tell if a wire is live. Even as smart meters and AI-driven diagnostics sweep through the industry, the human at the center remains irreplaceable. A digital meter confirms what the electrician already suspects. The final call is made by hand, eye, and instinct. This is not just a job, but a pathway. Each apprentice learns from a master, passing down skills that cannot be written in a manual. The work is sight-bound, tactile, and always present, an anchor in a world where so much else can be outsourced or automated. Nearly 950,000 electricians in the U.S. keep hospitals, data centers, and airports running. Their work is shielded by state licensing, and demand is set to rise 5% by 2034. When power fails, no algorithm can replace an electrician's judgment inside a live panel. Technology can diagnose, but hands-on skill and code knowledge decide the outcome. Grid operators, just 46,000 nationwide, are trusted to keep entire regions stable. During the 2021 Texas winter storm, automated systems faltered. Only human operators, trained and licensed by law, could manually balance the grid and prevent a blackout cascade. Energy management systems offer data, but the final call belongs to the operator. Aviation depends on 165,000 certified aircraft technicians. Planes do not fly without their sign-off. In 2024, automated checks missed a cracked hydraulic line. A technician's inspection caught it, averting disaster. Predictive tools can flag issues, but repairs, documentation, and regulatory compliance are strictly human work. Precision machinists, about 140,000, keep manufacturing exact. When a tool driven by artificial intelligence for CNC optimization failed, a machinist rewrote the program by hand, saving contracts. Machine learning suggests, but the feel and sound of the process remain human territory. In the emergency room, every second matters. Surgeons and trauma teams move through alarms and blood, making decisions that can't wait. Over 250,000 emergency medical technicians and paramedics in the United States are trained to spot a hidden fracture or improvise an airway while racing against time. 5 years of residency for trauma surgeons, 2 years of clinical rotations for emergency medical technicians, and board certification all demand sharp judgment and steady hands. No algorithm can replace the feel of a surgeon's touch, or the decision to push one more dose when a heart stops. At home, 1.4 million home health aides and caregivers help seniors stand, bathe, and eat. Their hands steady trembling arms, their eyes catch the first flicker of distress. When confusion sets in or a fall happens, it's the caregiver's intuition, built from thousands of bedside hours, that averts disaster. Home health employment is projected to grow 12% by 2034, faster than nearly any other sector. On city streets, nearly 330,000 firefighters train for chaos. Collapsed buildings, chemical spills, children trapped behind locked doors. I can predict fire spread, but only a firefighter decides when to charge into smoke. These roles demand touch, trust, and judgment, qualities no machine can match. Water flows because plumbers trace leaks through basements and crawl spaces, guided by state licenses that protect public health. In 2024, more than 500,000 plumbers and pipe fitters held this authority in the U.S., their numbers steady, even as automation spread. When a main bursts, it's their hands, not machines, that restore service. HVAC technicians climb rooftops in July heat, calibrating chillers for hospitals and troubleshooting air handlers in schools. Nearly 300,000 certified technicians serve a market where demand outpaces supply, especially as data centers multiply. EPA, Section 608, and local certifications set strict standards, but only a technician can replace a failed compressor or spot a hidden leak. Carpenters translate blueprints into walls and roofs. Their skill is passed through apprenticeships and union training. About 500,000 work across homes, schools, and bridges, adjusting for every irregular surface. Heavy equipment operators, roughly 250,000 nationwide, steer excavators and cranes, their judgment critical when disaster strikes. OSHA regulations and union cards protect the trade. On the edge of town, 2.1 million farmers and farm workers rise before dawn, tending fields and repairing irrigation. In the 2024 Midwest drought, manual irrigation and local knowledge saved billions in crops. 3 levers shape the future of resilient trades: targeted funding, capacity alignment, and local incentives. Federal apprenticeship grants have surpassed $1 billion for the 2024 to the 2025 cycle, supporting over 1,200 new programs in essential fields like construction, electrical, and advanced manufacturing. These grants now include wage subsidies, $45 million set aside to help apprentices bridge the gap between training and a living wage, cutting early dropout rates nearly in half. Meanwhile, 5,200 accredited vocational schools offer 1.4 million seats, but over 500,000 cite empty. A national dashboard that matches these seats to real labor shortages, for example, the HVAC bottleneck, slowing data center expansion, can close that gap. On the city level, programs such as Chicago's $2 million tax credit for apprentice employers and DC's salary matching for green trades have created thousands of new openings, with strict hiring and completion guarantees. Policy, funding, and local action form the backbone of trade resilience. 3 pathways stand out for those ready to build a future that cannot be shipped overseas or handed to a machine. Electrician apprenticeships remain one of the clearest routes, with 4 to 5 years of paid-on-the-job training and tuition, often covered by unions or employers. Total out-of-pocket costs can be as low as $1,500, and most apprentices start earning from the first month. Emergency medical technician programs offer another option. Many community colleges run 6-month courses, with certification fees under $2,000, and immediate job placement for those who pass state exams. For plumbing, the classic model blends 3 to 4 years of paid apprenticeship with classroom hours, averaging $2,500 in total costs, and nearly every state requires a license. As MIT's David Otter puts it, these trades are not just jobs, they are lifelines. They offer a way in for those willing to learn by doing, and they anchor communities when everything else feels uncertain. As automation accelerates and global shocks threaten stability, these trades stand as society's last line of defense, rooted in skill, presence, and necessity. When systems fail, only real hands rebuild. The future belongs to those who can't be replaced. What do you think? Does your community value these skills?